I actually wasn't going to review this, and then I seen the reviews for this show, and, yeah, it looks like some of these, like, so-called wrestling YouTubers got a few gifts from Tony Khan. Where's my gift? I never get any gifts. Nobody gives me anything. Because this show was shit! It was terrible! It was not good! It was awful! If you honestly think that this show was amazing, you're out of your mind! You're out of your goddamn mind, people! The amount of people that have been paid off by this company to give positive reviews is staggering! It's staggering to me! There's people that have been put in a position on YouTube, in the higher-ups in YouTube, that have been given the trust of the people, and they don't give a legitimate opinion because they hate WWE. I want to make things perfectly clear. I do not like what WWE's doing now. I think retribution is horrible, but what I don't like is censorship. Because I know immediately, by me not doing a good review on AEW, this will immediately not get good viewership. I bashed Retribution. Nearly 2,000 views. I bash anything WWE. It gets a ton of views. But if you say anything bad about AEW, either your channel will be taken off, just look at the whole effing show, and the way they treated that channel, and just look at any negative reviews on AEW, do not barely break 100 views. They barely even break 1,000 views. But because you are praising AEW, they bump out up the sky high. They love it when you bash WWE, and this is the problem. This is exactly the same problem the gaming industry had years ago. Not honest opinions. Not honest opinions. And the fact is a lot of wrestling journalists, whether you want to look at Dave Meltzer or whether you want to look at anybody, have not been honest about this company. Do I hate AEW? No. Do I think that the very first show and the very first pay-per-view I seen with AEW was good? I did. But I'm not going to sit here and lie to all of you and say that AEW has been a bit shitty. And in fact, the only reason why people are continuing to praise this show and blindly praise it is because of their sheer hatred by WWE. Some of these reviewers have been outright blackballed by WWE because of their opinions. That's wrong. But what I don't like is wrestling reviewers, despite the fact giving their honest opinion on WWE, do not give their honest opinion on AEW. This show was garbage. If you don't think that, you're an idiot. Congratulations. And this is the thing, before I get even into this show. The wrestling fan base, about, I'd say 10 years ago, was broken into two fractions. You had the WWE fans, you had the normal fans, YWC, whatever you want to call it, and then you had the TNA fans, alright? And I said that TNA sucked all those years ago. I said it was going out of business. I said they're going to change the name. It's not going to be anywhere close to WWE. I was right. Once again, I was right, of course, because I'm always goddamn right. But I never get pressed. These so-called YWC historians like to say, oh, well, this guy was right. No, I've been right the entire time. Yeah, all these so-called YWC historians that say this and this person did this and this person did that. No, y'all get it wrong. I was the one that said that company was going to crap. And I got it right. And guess what happened? TNA separated. It completely separated. Some of the fans realized this was trash. So what did they do? They went and joined the indie side. The whole indie kind of crew. The old indie kind of crew. And then that's why the Smarkbusters started up and all that there and everyone started hating it. So for many years it was anti-Smark. Which, I'm not a fan of them either, by the way. Normal fans. And people that love the indies. But long story short, they literally just acted like complete and utter muppets. People just started acting like idiots. People started using irrational thought and irrational thinking and thinking that this was somewhat presentable. This leads into the show, because what I'm going to explain in this show is why the show isn't as good as what y'all think. Do I think it's completely, the company is completely down the shitter and it's completely horrible? I'm not going to say that. But all I am going to say is that it's no better than WWE. Y'all don't think that, y'all think I'm wrong? The amount of storylines that they did was pretty much exactly what they did in WWE in the PG era. Except for they can say the word shit. Oh Jesus, they can say the word shit. Oh my god, this is really breaking stuff. They can say the word shit. Oh my god, it's amazing. Anyway, let's get into the show and why I think this show was not great. FTR versus Best Friends. Horrible, horrible name, by the way. I've said this before. This tag match was terrible. Terrible with a capital T. A capital T. It was absolutely awful. The ending was just horrendous. The referee ducked and went like this. And then he went, oh, that's it over. This match went on way too long. I literally fell asleep. I almost stopped. I was not going to watch it. And I thought, no, I'll just watch it. I'm bored. I've got nothing else to do. Okay? I got nothing else to do. This match was absolutely horrible. If you honestly think that this was legitimately somewhat entertaining, you're lying to yourself. I do not need to see 4 out-of-shape men they're just doing nothing. They're just doing exactly the same thing that you see in indie shows on a weekly basis. This is a televised show. Give us something. Give us something different. This match is exactly the same as some of the tag matches that you see in WWE. It's exactly the same thing. There's no difference. Stop lying to yourselves. It's horrible. I never want to see this show again. Horrible. Mauro and a bunch of losers came out. This was terrible. The match itself was awful. And then one of the cucks or whatever, I don't know what he looked like. He just looked like one of those types. I don't know. He looked like an idiot. He was like, oh, I actually posted this on the Wrestling Juggernauts Facebook page. But it's like, oh, my arcade thing crashed, blah, blah, blah. And literally, Mauro gave by far one of the worst promos I have ever seen. And now I realize why he's not in WWE. He did a terrible promo. He went, blah, 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 blah. You want to break my shit? And then he goes, game over. And then it ends. Just like my social life. Terrible, awful, absolutely horrible match. MJF's big announcement. Y'all probably think I'm going to praise this. No, this was absolutely horrible. This is exactly the same thing. This is exactly the same storyline that Kevin Owens had with Chris Jericho. The jokes were just unfunny. It just wasn't funny. I'm sorry. It was forced comedy. MJF, just looked really, really, really bad. I know that's something that you all don't hear. I know when you watch these positive reviews, MJF looked completely off his game. Don't lie to yourselves. He did. I'm not saying that the kid is horrible. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that he went, hey, let's not say this. It just looked really, really forced. It looked like a modern day Will Ferrell movie. You ever watched the Sherlock Holmes movie with Will Ferrell? If you haven't, congratulations, you're not feeling it life. But if you have, it's horrible. It's like forced kind of, hey, like this kind of, I'm random. This whole thing started with Deadpool and the joke, all this kind of, and that humor can be funny. It's one of my most favorite humor, but when you do it bad, it comes off horrible. Chris Jericho, with all due respect to him, and MJF, did this comedy awful. They've been saying the same jokes that they did since last year. Le Champion is aging now. It's not that cool. I don't want to drink his piss champagne. I don't like any of this is horrible. Like, they're using the same slogans as what they said a year ago. Just come up with something new. I want to like this company. Whenever it first announced, I was praising it. But I'm not gonna sit here and lie to any of you like the rest of these smucks on YouTube. I haven't been controversial enough. I've been holding back in the controversy. I've been holding back. Y'all people need someone actually entertaining. That's me. Subscribe to the General Jerry channel. Subscribe to me so we can actually overtake these idiots. Okay? Subscribe to me. Subscribe to the Smart Busters. Hopefully when WJ comes back, you can subscribe to him. And if ETA comes back, subscribe to them as well. And subscribe to the PW Hustle. Alright? Subscribe to people that actually deserve subscribers. Not these idiots that you've put on a high pedestal. Or sellouts, these British sellouts that just don't make any sense. Like, they're so-called cringy top 10s that make no sense. Horrible. Orange Cassidy versus Cody Rhodes. Horrible. This was terrible. I actually like the Orange Cassidy character. But he's a fun, lower, mid-card guy. He's a fun, lower, mid-card guy. He should be like Santino Marella. Or he should be, I don't know, a funny character. He shouldn't be facing Cody Rhodes. Like, Cody Rhodes, and the actual match itself was forced. Cody Rhodes couldn't even keep up with wrestling him. There were so many botches, especially with roll-ups. There were so many botches. And if you aren't acknowledging that, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. This was horrible. I didn't like it. I like the Orange Cassidy character, though. Because he looks, I don't know. I like him. I personally like him. I do think he can be a funny character. But, like, it's just... And Cody Rhodes, like, pretty much gets over on this guy as a draw. I love the fact that you all say Cody's not going to do what Triple H did. And does exactly the same thing as what Triple H is doing. He's doing exactly the same thing. He's burying characters. I'm not saying he's burying Orange Cassidy, but the people that he's faced, he immediately got the championship. Immediately. This man is like a higher up in WWE. If that was Triple H, if Triple H did this, where he won the Intercontinental Championship or United States, you'd all be up in arms. And do you know what? I want Triple H to win the world title again. Yeah, I said it. I said it. I said it. I want Triple H to win the world title again. Because at least it'll be more interesting than what we're getting in WWE. Alright? Horrible. Oh yeah, Tony Schiavone. I love Tony Schiavone. I'm a WCW guy. I'm not really so much a WWE. I'm a WCW guy. Alright? I watched WCW before I watched WWF at the time. But Tony Schiavone sitting there, like, I don't need to see an old man getting waxed. This man legit was getting waxed in front of me. This was horrible segment. And they said the inspiration is the 40-year-old virgin. This was horrible. This wasn't great. It was terrible. The Women's Championship. I got bored. I skipped it. I got bored. I got to the point where I was falling asleep. And I wasn't even watching this on the night. Jon Moxley versus Lance Archer. No disqualification. It was alright. I have to admit, this one was quite decent. I have to say, I do like a good hardcore match. You all know I'm a sucker for that. The thing is with Jon Moxley, and this is not a popular thing to say, but Jon Moxley's character is literally no different than Dean Ambrose in WWE. It's just that he curses occasionally. There is literally no difference between the two. I actually like Jon Moxley, but these people that are like fake pretending that he's a new person compared to his slave name fucking Dean Ambrose, they're exactly the same person except for he curses and he has a beard. and he wears like army trunks or whatever, or army pants, or trousers as we say. Then Eddie Kingston came in. I just want to say this, Eddie Kingston, absolutely horrible competitor. I don't like him. I just don't like him. I know a lot of you are gonna fake pretend that he's amazing. I know a lot of you are gonna fake pretend that this guy is the greatest thing ever, even though you have never heard of him. I loved it whenever he was announced, because everyone pretended that they knew him. I went on the Facebook page, and everybody legit was like, oh, I know him, he's in, and if you ask them any questions, it's, oh, where have you heard him? The Indies. That's their reply. You just never knew who this guy was. You didn't really know who he was, really. Don't fake pretend to me that you knew who he was. Nobody really in the God's green earth knew who the hell he was. And his promos are terrible. Like, hey, how's it going? Hey. He's Joe Pesci. He's the Joe Pesci of AEW. I'm not saying something. I'm not saying that because Joe Pesci's a national treasure, okay? Hey, what's up? Hey! That's what he sounds like. He doesn't know whether he's Mexican or Italian. Hey! Like that's what he sounds like. Don't lie to me that you like him. You stop fake liking these wrestlers. That's a problem with this indie crew. Y'all fake pretend that you like these people. They're not great. I'm gonna get in so much trouble for this review. Oh, I'm uploading it. Okay, I've uploaded videos like this. I just haven't uploaded it. I'm gonna upload it because it needs shaking up. I just seen these reviews of this, and I just feel like some of you are just being absolutely outright lied to. Like, and it's just, and some of you are falling for it. Like, that's a crazy thing. Like, some of you are genuinely falling for it. This show was horrible. Absolutely terrible. Main event was subpar at best. I thought it was somewhat decent, but it wasn't anything that we've seen out of the ordinary in AEW. The rest of the card was trash. I'm giving this a 3 out of 10. That's right. I'm gonna give it. This was trash. This was not great. I was so goddamn bored out of my head. General Jerry on the general. What do you see? This video is going to get so less views because I bashed AEW. Just honestly look, because that's what they have. I don't know. I have a theory, but I have a theory that they actually have control over the YouTube metrics. Because usually if I give like a bad WWE review, it gets it goes up like crazy. I guarantee this will get absolutely trashed on in the videos and in the views, should I say. Anyways, General Jerry on the General Jerry channel, signing out.